Hello and welcome. On today's show, XRP, Ripple, the SEC, and the people's financial revolution may have just begun. So you want to crypto. However, in order to bring you some value and perspective on the positions and videos, I thought I would share a little bit about me. I have a bachelor's degree in applied mathematics, an MBA. I am a project management advisor, and currently I'm taking 3 700 level graduate courses in order to finish my doctorate in international business. I plan to submit my dissertation proposal on the influences of disruptive fintech applications on the future strategies of legacy banking business models. For 2 decades, I have worked as an electronics or subsea robotics superintendent, building some pretty neat stuff in some pretty hard to reach places, like the bottom of the ocean with robots. On high-tech aviation equipment, on low-tech aviation equipment, and a ton of practical engineering products along the way. I don't say this to brag, and I want you to know that I have a formal education, and that's it. And yet, I am almost inept when it comes to changing the clock on my car radio or setting up something on my desktop. I go 6 months of the year changing the time in my head to compensate for daylight savings time when I drive. So when it comes to crypto, I am not a programmer, computer scientist, or anything even comparable. I'm a businessman. I'm trying to see the big picture applications and utility, and where I can use this, and where I will save money, where enterprise adoption will come in, and all right then, let's move on to Ripple. The SEC charges Ripple and 2 executives with conducting $1.3 billion unregistered securities offering. This was December 22nd, 2020. So a somewhat recent article. The Harvard Law School, January 24th, 2016. So another relatively new article. We see a Tier 3 violation that also involves a substantial risk or loss of others or gains to the violator has an individual penalty of $160,000 and an entity of $775,000. And this is per incident. Additionally, the SEC claims that Garlinghouse sold over 321 million XRP, generating approximately 150 million from the sales, and that Larson and his wife sold over 1.7 billion XRP via public markets, netting at least 450 million from the sales. One difference may be that in both the Kick and Telegram, it was not alleged that any of the executive officers had sold any of the related digital assets, which may explain why those individuals were not named, despite allegations of statements along the same lines as noted in the complaint to have been made by the executives. Recently, in a settlement involving the sales of the SAFT, I think that's right, they alleged material misstatements and omissions made by executive officers in connection with SAFT offerings. Only the issuer of the SAFTs and not the related issue or individual officers were named in the SEC's action and ultimate settlement. Ultimate settlement. Here's the key, folks. There's a good chance the SEC will consider a settlement. I'm no attorney, but if I were in big business and I wanted to get back at the guy who just got me, I would do everything in my power to swing the SEC to gain my favor and let Ripple go with just a warning, or on February 15th, 2021, or maybe even later. The whole show begins on February 15th. It could drag out to an eventual settlement, and investors could be left looking like kids in an ugly divorce, wondering what to do along the way. Ripple is accused of selling unregistered securities since 2013. You have basically Ripple by the balls in a street fight with investors over where retail capital in the sector is spent. This will be a major defining moment in the life of cryptocurrency and dictate future precedents. However, if Ripple is on the brink of destruction, why has it only lost half of its valuation? As we can see, 23% on the year, 37% on the month, and so on. But we're in the green across the board. And it has outperformed Bitcoin in the process. So why has it outperformed Bitcoin over that period of time? Maybe a strong community, maybe retail investors are still hopeful. Maybe it is the biggest FUD of them all. Who knows? And Ripple will get a slap on the wrist since the SEC now has them by the short hairs. And then Ripple will be the new foundation for the big money institution to gain momentum in crypto. And maybe a little payback. What do you think? Is it crazy to think that Ripple might get off easy in February? Is there any chance that this is a mass coordinated FUD effort to scoop up Ripple on the skinny at a discount? Who knows? I don't know. None of this is meant to be financial advice, and I always suggest that everyone do their research. I like to speculate and follow trails to shiny things. The people have spoken, and Robinhood could be done for. On Thursday morning, according to CNET, Twitter users began posting screenshots of their Robinhood app and showed a message attached to the pages of GameStop, AMC, Nokia, and Bed Bath & Beyond. This stock is not supported by Robinhood. Robinhood says they made the right decision. Who was right? Was Robinhood protecting its investors, or were they protecting big money hedge funds? Inquiring minds want to know. Google, there's even accusations that they've been deleting negative reviews of Robinhood apps. More stocks were shorted than actually existed, and many are crying foul that the game is rigged. And the stock prices seem to start to back this up. We have a little bit of a dip right here. People are actually, you only live once, F it. Throwing their saving in for a shot at riches. Living paycheck to paycheck anyway. What's a few $100 or maybe even a few thousand that you really don't have? Pumping Dogecoin, GameStop, AMC, Bed Bath & Beyond. To an educated investor, these are lifetime opportunities. To the unschooled retail over-the-counter investor, it could mean destruction. Much of the mainstream media is often in on the deal. They are all about spreading FUD, and the next thing you know, Bitcoin or whatever it else is they're promoting or not promoting, it is now at all-time highs or all-time lows, wherever the market needs to go. The new over-the-counter retail investors follow the hype and FOMO in and out of these situations as often as the village bite gets ridden, if you know what I mean. People that cannot afford to lose money are going to get screwed here, along with a bunch of people who can afford to get screwed. But that's besides the point. The average savings account in the United States is $3,500. That's it, folks. And you can't tell me there are not a ton of people that are saying, why not throw that $3,000 into Bitcoin or Ethereum? Why not look into altcoins, cryptocurrency? And when the new proposed stimulus package gets here, look out, baby. It's going to be raining cash in crypto land. Politics aside, the incoming Biden administration wants to push through a $1.9 trillion stimulus package. That's $1,900 billion. 1.9 million millionaires. Sit back and comprehend that number. It is astounding. There is no United States savings account where we go and make a withdrawal. We just throw that shit on the credit card. The U.S. just calls up the Fed and says, hey, dog, time to make the donuts. And boom, cash starts to be printed. Here's a link to the Fed and notes that they authorized to be printed. This is the cash, the stuff in your wallet. Look at the print order for 2021. All of this is in the description below, all of these links. Now look at the rate at which money is being printed. It's bats in the belfry to think this is sustainable. $1 from the year 2000 has the value of 1.5 of today's dollars. So in just over 20 years, it has lost a huge percentage of its value, with the stock market in revolt and held up by unsustainable flows of stimulus packages. Do you really think that cryptocurrency is a bad investment at this point? Look at the buying power of the dollar over the years as it falls drastically. Even now, over short periods of time, it's mental. Here we see the value of the US dollar to the yuan over time. We have a serious devaluing of the US currency, and with the end of the country's internal oil dependence and an economy ravaged by mass closures due to the COVID-19 virus, it looks hard to bring this back. It really does. New predictions indicate a slight increase, however. I predict some unfortunate times ahead along the way. As you can see, we have a small incline, but I think it's maybe going to be a little more dramatic than that. So remember, hit the like button, subscribe for new content on various aspects of the crypto world and its influence on the business world now and into the future, hopefully. And in honor of XNS, which I didn't intend on covering almost exclusively, what do you guys call yourselves? That's the big question. And I have a suggestion if you don't have a name. The Insolarectionists. What do you think? Cheers.